Hey, how's it going, everybody? Sarasota Tim. You hear that thunder out there? It is really bad here in Sarasota, Bradenton. But not going to get me down. I got nothing but good news and the highest of praise for a company called Texas Value Auto. Texas Auto Value, Texas Value Auto, Texas Auto Value. That's what it is. They're a dealer in Dallas, Texas that buys cars, and they buy about 150 cars a day nationwide. And they have a very cool system. I listed my car on autotrader.com, and here's what happened. When you list your car on AutoTrader, Facebook, Craigslist, whatever, you're going to have people contacting you that want to buy your car. Some are scams. Some are people that want to buy it and they're going to drive it. Other people want to buy it and flip it. And so when you get these flippers, naturally they want to give you nothing. Well, they want to give you less than you can get because they want to make money. Now, we all know that dealers don't pay retail for cars. They sell them for that. But they will buy a car. And the price is all over the map. And guess who gives you the least that I found out was the manufacturer of your product. I got a price a few months ago. I was going to sell my car, and I called up Carvana or CarMax or one of those, and they gave me a price. And then I had to go to the dealer to get a recall done on my 2024 Honda Accord Hybrid touring model. Top of the line, $40,000 car, brand new. And I said, I'm going to sell this car. I don't need it anymore. I don't want it, whatever. And they gave me, I don't know, it was like $2,000 lower than these other companies that don't even sell specifically that model. They just sell everything. Well, I got to tell you, this company called Texas Auto Value is incredible. I can't believe what they gave me for my car. And I cannot believe how the transaction went down. So let me just explain and give the highest of praise and the highest, absolute highest recommendation that I can give for a car dealer. One, they don't have dealerships. They don't pay for flooring. They don't have, property they got to pay for. They don't keep them there. They buy cars strictly to go straight to auction and sell for anything more than they gave, whatever they can get. Now, who buys at auctions? Dealers. Dealers don't rely on people trading cars in, especially really nice cars. So they go to auction a lot of times to find cars to build an inventory so they can do business and make money. And why do people sell really nice, low mileage cars like I just did? Well, I asked that question myself. It's a very good question. There's the reason that I had of just wanting to be less is more. And I bought the car under a completely different idea. It didn't work out. And I don't need it. I'm one person. People get into health conditions. They can't drive anymore. People are trying to lower their debt ratio. They want to buy a home. They have financial problems. They need the money. Whatever. They don't want multiple cars in the family and that kind of thing. So that's why people sell cars, late model cars with low mileage. Texas Auto Value out of Dallas buys cars as old, maybe even older, but as old as 6 or 7 years. They buy Ferraris. They buy Chevrolets. They buy Hondas. They buy everything. And when they get into buying the earlier model cars, it has to be no more than an average. I mean, this is not etched in stone, but this is what I heard. No more than an average of 15,000 miles a year. So it could be about 4 or 5 years old, but have 25,000 miles on it. Well, that's obviously a nice car still that they can buy, if they can buy it right, wholesale, and then sell it that a dealer of all types. Some dealers don't buy old cars like that. They only want 20 and newer. Others are used car lots, and they're dealers, and they specialize in selling earlier model used cars. There's an ass for every seat. So all these dealers go to auction, and you got all these bird doggers, these people that are scouring the web looking for people like me. I advertise my car as a private seller. Now, they're obviously not going to be calling Auto Trader dealers that are advertising to resell cars used, because why is a dealer going to sell to another dealer? I mean, it's crazy enough it could happen, but they're looking for people like me and like you that are private sellers. And here's what you have to understand. That when they're buying that many cars, and they may pay, let's say they gave me what they gave me today, and they go to the auction with it, and they can't sell it. Or it turns out, you know, they lose $200 because they had to pay the guy. My egg cooker's done. Let me unplug it. They had to pay the guy that met me, because I talked to another guy in Dallas. He gave me the offer, and then another guy that they employ comes, and here's the best part of this whole deal. So, as a 66-year-old man, and it doesn't really matter how old I am, in 2025, all we hear today is scam, scam, scam. They will scam you out of a quarter today. There's scammers scamming everything, and they keep reinventing new ways to scam every day. We all know this, right? So naturally, when someone gives me a bell and says, hey, seen your car, like to buy it. Buy it today. I'm like, scam. I mean, I just advertised it last night. So he did say, I'm going to be straight with you. This is what I love about this place. They are straight. You may not like the number he gives you. I did. But they are totally straight. And they tell you, you know, a lot of people, when they get offers from dealers, you'll see ads sometimes on Facebook and Craigslist. No dealers, please. Don't call me if you're a dealer, you know, because the dealers are lowballers or just flippers, individuals that want to buy a car and flip it. And people are like, I'm trying to sell this for all I can get. And that's fine. But this guy called me and he said, I'd like to give you X dollars. And don't ask me how much I sold my car for, because that's personal. But I didn't make money on it, I can tell you that, as you know. But I'm happy and they're happy. So he said, we'd like to present you an offer. And I said, well, let me just tell you, I was in the business. I'm an ex-dealer myself. I said, this is a retail piece. This is not a wholesale piece. With all due respect. I mean, I respect that they're trying to make money, and he's calling people to buy cars. That's his job, is to buy cars and make a little commission and a salary, whatever they're paying him. And I said, he goes, well, that's fine. He says, well, I'll just be straight with you. If you were a dealer, this is what we'd like to offer you. And when he told me, then I really thought it was a scam, because I haven't figured this person out yet. And this offer was in the neighborhood, I'll just go ahead and tell you, not the price, but it was more than I was maybe going to take if I didn't sell it after a while. Not right away. But since it was more than I was maybe going to take after a couple of weeks or a month or whatever, because I wanted the car gone, and I knew I was going to, not make money on it. And I bought it new, and there's that first year depreciation, yada, yada. I couldn't believe it. So here's the kicker. The ad that I placed the pictures didn't go through. And when I went to edit my account after placing it on autotrader.com, the pictures didn't go through. And I wanted to edit my description. There was a couple of errors in the grammar, and a period where it shouldn't be, and I wanted to polish it up. So I went to sign in, I created my username, I created my password, and as soon as I went to log in, after I already got an email saying, thanks for your money, we got your $79 for the ad, that's what they charge, $79 for 40 days. I went to log in using my information that I just set up, and it said, your account has been suspended due to some kind of activity, nothing specific. Contact Auto Trader customer service and we'll try to unlock your account, figure out what's going on. See, Auto Trader is different than Craigslist and Facebook. Auto Trader, you can't just put a stolen car on there. You damn sure barely could get away with it if you tried. They take your VIN, they run a Carfax, they check for liens, they check that you're the owner, they run the tag, they check everything. They are that's why $79 versus $5 on Craigslist. But for whatever reason, I was thinking it had to do with the fact that I did try to advertise it on Auto Trader, paid $80, $79, a few months ago and tried to sell this car to no avail. And then I decided, I'm keeping it. I'm not selling it. It wasn't meant to be. And I'm wondering if I signed into a different name and username in the same car, if that's what threw up a flag. Likely is what it is. So it wasn't anything about there's not anything wrong with my car. It's the fact of my sign-in using the same VIN and car and tag number. That's what I think. And anything can throw up a flag. And so they blocked it because they're very safe. It's a very safe publication to sell. That's why mostly dealers use it. You don't see that many private party sales. Dealers use the heck out of them. So anyway, pictures didn't get posted. I couldn't log in. I called them up. It was after hours. They said you got to leave an email and have them get back to you. It can take 1 to 2 days to get back to you. I thought, oh my gosh, I gave you my money. You took my money. But, for my own protection or whatever, their protection, the ad was visible. You could have searched it. Probably could still search it. And I listed it for $34,000 on Auto Trader. I looked at Kelley Blue Book, and guess what? After searching on AI and Kelley Blue Book and everything else, while some cars are depreciating, a lot of cars, I think I talked about it this morning, in certain segments are going up or holding value, and that would be hybrids and electric cars. And so the suggested price that I put was $34,000, a little more. And I'd already been willing to take that or a little less, knowing you got to negotiate with people. I was going to list it for a little less, but I said, well, if they're suggesting 34, and they are listing for a lot more. What they get is I don't know, but they're offering them for a lot higher. I said, all right, let's put 34. It's what they say. A customer can't argue with that. They're going to say, well, that's what Auto Trader said. And so it got listed for 34. The ad was blocked. Not the ad, but me signing in was blocked. They took my money. There were no photos. But this company, Texas Auto Value out of Dallas, who I highly recommend if you're looking to sell your car, called me. They're able to get your information, because being like a dealer, even though that's not publicized information on Auto Trader and through Facebook, you use Messenger, you go through the messaging app, and then if you want to give your number to someone, if you feel comfortable, arrange for a test drive, then you go that route. So had this person called had my ad not been blocked and I got a text message or something saying this is Texas Auto Value, a dealer, we'd like to buy your car, I would have probably dismissed it. Like, oh, here's the dealer wanting to give me, nothing, a lot less than I will take. But I got a phone call and it said wireless caller. and I don't usually answer my phone to, it showed the number. It wasn't blocked or anything. I said, something just told me, just answer it. Hello. Hello, is this Tim? Yeah. Hey, how you doing? This is so-and-so with Texas Auto Broker. Texas Auto Value. We saw your ad, and that's when I explained, hey, this is a retail piece. It's not a wholesale piece. I was in the business. He said, well, all right, well, then if you're in the business, I'll be straight with you. We'd like to offer you X dollars. And when I heard that, I was like, okay, this is what I said a few minutes ago. Scam. Got a wireless caller calling me, offering me what I would likely take, maybe, for the car, even more. And I explained very, very politely. I said, look, this is 2025. I'm 66. I'm incredulous. I got all these other weirdos that have done things to me because I'm a YouTuber. And I said, I don't trust anybody. He says, you can Google me. I'll FaceTime you right now. I'll send you my card. You can see it's the same person that's on my card. And he was just offering all of this stuff to prove that he was a legitimate person, even though his number was like accepting. So I found out, I Googled the company, AI, I Googled him, I did a reverse check on his phone number. It's him. Everything is fine. So I said, well, I'll get back to you, you know. It was a very generous offer, and I'm like, man, maybe I'm leaving money on the table. I mean, the dealers are willing to give me that much? This is a whole different thing than it was a few months ago. So I ran past my story to Fred, who I trust a lot, just to bounce it off of him. And Fred said, if it was me, I'd take it. But you do you. But I'm telling you what I would do, he said. And I gave him all the details and everything. So I called the number back. And the guy answered. And I said, okay, how did you get my numbers? Asked a bunch of more questions to relieve my... Man, I had so many questions about scam. Who is this? What is this? Are you jerking my chain? What's the deal? Then he says, here's how we do it. We here at Texas Auto Value meet you at Chase Bank. That's who we deal with. And we go into the bank with you after we check the car over, make sure it's not on three wheels. It's as you described. There's not a big, bunch of damage that you didn't level with us about. We inspect the vehicle. One of our people come, and he will go with you in the bank to the teller, up to the teller, and get you a check made out to you. Now, Chase Bank, Wells Fargo Bank, PNC Bank, Bank of America, none of these banks are going to be in on a scam if you go to a teller. If they write you a check, a bank check, or cashier's check, you know that's a legitimate, safe deal. So to relieve you and to make you less worrisome where someone just writes you a check in their car or gives you a check or shows up with a check that you don't know where it came from, you meet them at Chase Bank. And after he inspects the car, you bring your title, and even if you owe money on your car, they'll go to, they'll just give you the difference. They'll go to that bank and pay off the balance from the money they get from Chase, because that's who they bank with. So you go to Chase Bank, he goes up to the teller, he tells him how much he needs. He uses a credit card that the company gives him. They could have these guys that go out that pick up the cars that do it all. They're not just drivers. These are professional. I mean, the guy I got today, I cannot tell you. This guy's going places. This guy was amazing. This guy was so professional, so nice. Big guy, 6'4". Really cool guy. We hit it off, man. We were talking. He's subscribed to the channel. But these guys are not drivers. I halfway expected that he would show up with somebody, and after they check the car out and they want to give you this check from the bank, they told me what was going to go down, that the one person that dropped them off would go on their way, and then they would drive the car back to wherever they come from. The guy came from Tampa. Well, guess how he showed up? By Uber, by Lyft. The company pays their people to come gives them a credit card to withdraw whatever amount they need for these purchases of these cars. They run a little computer thing. You stick in your computer thing underneath the dash to check for any codes, and it verifies the VIN number. They don't want to get scammed. You don't want to get scammed? They don't want to get scammed. And maybe you're selling a stolen car. Replace the VIN number on there. There's some real sneaky things people do. So, he checks it all out. I got this really big rubber mat in my trunk where I kept a razor blade and my original factory window sticker. And they look under that. This guy was trained to, you're not going to cover up a big acid spot or a bleached out spot or something on your carpeting. They know where to look. Check the tires. He raised the hood. He put that scanner in. And the reason I know he looked under the mat in the trunk, because I keep a razor blade under there, to clean my windows and stuff. And I just don't want to get cut on it. So I put it underneath that rubber trunk mat, which is really nice they gave me when I bought the car. Plus I have the Honda rubber weather mats in the car. And he checked everything out. And of course, I don't have to apologize for my car. My car was a brand new 9,900 mile, beautiful car. You know the car. And so right away he saw what he was dealing with, and the scanner proved that it was everything. I got my title. It's my name. I had to show my ID. Actually, because they don't want to get scammed. So I had the proper things, and he had the proper things called money. And we went into Chase Bank. He's been in there so many times they knew him, because he's down here buying cars. He goes within an hour and a half of Tampa. That's his territory. So he go north, east, west, south, doesn't matter, all the way down to Northport. And he saw the chip in the windshield that I got, and I can get that fixed for free. And to be honest with you, I was looking for any reason not to sell the car so quick. It was kind of scary that I thought, if they get there and they try to come up with some kind of thing, well, now that we're here and you're all excited about getting a check, we're going to give you $1,000 or $2,000 less and lowball you. Not even. I was even assured by the guy in Dallas that I dealt with that there'll be no negotiation. There'll be nothing like that. This is a firm price as long as it's not on 3 tires and missing 2 fenders. We've already checked the Carfax. We've checked it out. They buy them every day. But when they run them to auction, if they make money on some and lose on some, it's a dollar cost average for them. It isn't like they're going to go out of business if they gave me what they gave me and they took mine to auction and lost 100 on it. Maybe they made 1,000 on the last one. So it's all making money. They're just doing business. And the guy that showed up, the professional, amazing, cool guy that I met today, Mr. Cliff, he was so professional. Gave me a ride back here to the camper. Went in the bank with me, gave me copies of everything, had me sign exactly like I'm supposed to, all the documents, got a copy, and got me a check, of which I took to my bank. And so, no chance of anything being a scam, no chance of anything. It's a done deal. So Texas Auto Value, forget CarMax and all them. They got people all over the country. You contact them. And, because I was in the car business, I started asking Cliff, do they advertise? Do they need people to do what like you're doing? Is there always openings or anything? He says, it's such a cool job. They pay for all of his housing. They pay his transportation, his fuel, of course, right? He's doing business for them. And they give him that card. He makes sure that he checks the car over right for them. I mean, if he started making mistakes, they wouldn't keep him very long. And they pay him well. He makes so much, and then he makes so much more on this and that, bonuses. And the guy that called me, he makes so much. And then the dealer, the auction, is going to sell it. And they're going to want to make something. And then the dealer that gets it, they want to make something. So obviously it's going to be stepped on 3 to 4 times before the ultimate retail buyer goes in and gets that Honda. So everybody had to make money. Well, just like in anything in manufacturing, you don't make a big profit on the first part, on the wholesale end. Those cars are being flipped for $100 to $300. It's only until you go to the showroom where they make $2,000 to $4,000 on you in dealer fees, profit they made on the car, and pinstripes and undercoating and all these extra things, extended warranty, all these after sale things, interest rate. The dealer ends up, they make money on the interest rate. Whether the salesman gets paid on it or not is beside the point. The dealer makes the big profit. So, knowing that everybody's got to make money, these wholesalers generally need to start out pretty low for everybody to kind of make money. This company doesn't really retail cars at all. They strictly go to the auction. Unless they know a dealer is looking for a specific car, then they'll take it straight to them and maybe make more than they would normally at the auction. And this one auction, I forgot what it's called, they're all over the nation. And so they got an in with them to take the cars right there. And the guy that came out, that bought mine and helped me, he said, I've bought 3 to 5 cars in a day. I said, well, if you're going to drive them back to Tampa, and that's where you're from, well, what do you do with the car if you got to go to another one? He said, well, I arrange them in the order, and I'll either take it back and take an Uber again back to, but if I'm in the same area, I'll park the car, I'll leave it right here at the bank. I'll take it to Walmart. I'll take it to public shopping center and leave it there. And then go get the other car, go buy the other car from the person, and then take that one, then get an Uber and come back. And so he's doing, as you can see, a lot of legwork for the company in Dallas. So it's a team effort. But nobody's got a dealership paying all these fees, and they're not flooring these cars. These cars go to the auction like immediately. They cash out, make their profits. I mean, think about it, 150 cars a day they're buying in the summer, they say. That's kind of like a big number on the average. And if you made $300 a car, what is that, $500,000 a day, $300,000 or $400,000 a day that they're making? And they're paying the guy that called me, they're paying the guy that came and met me, and they're making money. So there's money to be made. Anyway, I was asking him, I said, hey, they hiring? Because, he had a personality. He says, I have to overcome alligators, scorpions, talking about when he meets people. They all got the same apprehension. When the guy shows up, they're all worried about going to get scammed. He has so much to overcome. I really kind of felt sorry for him. And I gave him the same stuff, but I was, friendly about it. But I asked those questions, because believe me, the last thing I wanted to do was see my CC rider go down the road with my title and me signed everything off and a bad check or nothing. So completely legitimate. I even went as far as Googling them on Google Genesis. And it said, yes, Texas Auto Value is a reputable company, and they have a procedure to take you to Chase Bank and get you your money after you meet them there. Now think about it. I mean, just that one part seals the deal. If I meet you at a bank and you go to the teller window with me, and we've agreed that your car is what you said it was, I like it, and I don't beat you up on the price. I agree to what I offered you that was offered earlier that morning on the phone. And I take you to the bank teller. Do you think the bank teller is going to be in on some scam at Chase Bank, Bank of America, or whoever? Hell no. They write you a check. That check is good. That check isn't going to be reversed or bounced or anything. So you just don't get more peace of mind than that. And that's the business model that they use. They give you a more than fair wholesale price because they know what the car will end up bringing retail. And apparently that car of mine will bring a hell of a lot more than what I got for it, even what I advertised it for, of $34,000. The market has changed from what it was a few months ago. But anyway, whatever, that's on them. I'm out. I got what I wanted. But when they call you and they tell you this is what we're going to do and this is how we do it, and they alleviate as much as they can. This guy was really good too, Mr. Robert. All my questions, offering to FaceTime me, everything else, because they encounter that probably with everybody. People don't trust anybody. But you can trust Texas Auto Value. I've already searched them 2 or 3 times. And I'm no dummy when it comes to going in the bank and doing everything like that business-wise. This was a flat out 48 hours ago thinking about it to the car is gone. To the day they called me, they met me. The guy came straight down. They didn't want another dealer to call. They didn't want another buyer to call. They want your car. You got a nice piece. You know, if you're not looking to trade it in for another car and save on sales tax by trading in, and you know, you're going that way, and you have a reason like I did, don't need 2 cars, need money, can't drive anymore, whatever the reasons are, that these people that want to sell a car, private party, they're going to buy it. You got a low mileage, nice car, they're the ones who are going to give it to you, give you top dollar. I mean, the peace of mind of being able to meet them at a bank and get your check, sign your title, and go. You know, I mean, it's one thing to sell something on Facebook or Craigslist or Auto Trader that's $4,000, $5,000, $8,000. Somebody can go to the bank, they can get the money, they can come to you. You want cash, they'll give you that. They can get that out of the bank. And, you know, and it's a very secure deal. You get the cash, and you give them the title. But when you're selling a very expensive car, a Ferrari, a 2024, you know, that's over $30,000, and people just aren't going to go down to the bank and walk around with that kind of money, and you don't want to check, you know, and this company says, we will meet you at any Chase Bank in Sarasota, nearest you. And once it goes by and approves by our inspector that's everything you said it is, we see the book value, we've checked the Carfax, we see it's a straight up deal, and you're the owner, and it's only in your name, and blah blah blah. They check all of their part. They're worried as much about you as you are about them. Remember that. And so, Texas Auto Value, just Google them. I don't know their number. You want to sell a car, you call them, and if you're in my area, maybe Cliff will come down. This is his territory. A nicer guy I never met. Man, what a cool dude. He really was. And he was so friendly. He did everything. He even reminded me, by the way, I've got to go to the DMV. On your title in Florida, there's a part that tears off that you keep. I said, yeah, I don't need this. He goes, oh yeah, go down to DMV and turn that in. You can just drop that off. Because when you cancel your auto insurance on that car, which I've already done, DMV is notified that you don't have insurance on a car that they don't know you sold unless you take that paper in. And guess what happens if you don't have auto insurance in the state of Florida? I don't know if it's every state. Your driver's license is suspended. And you get pulled over or whatever, and your license, then you got, you know, trouble there you don't need. So I'll be going down Monday to the tag office, giving them the tag because I'm not buying another car. In the state of Florida, your tags are for you. I'll give them that tag, and you know, they don't need the registration to it, and I'll turn it in, and I'll give them that part of my title, and now that way, when it comes time for renewal, but most importantly, when they get notified that that car is no longer insured, that's a no-no in Florida. They'll suspend your license. So I'm glad he told me about that. That was very nice of him to tell me. I would have never have known had I sold it to private party. I would not have known that. And likely that would have happened to me. So I'm sharing that with you. If you do sell your car even private party, take that piece that you tear off that's perforated on your title and take it to the tag office. I think you can just walk in and hand it to them, as you can old tags. You don't need an appointment for that. And so, folks, I feel very bittersweet. It was a nice car. I feel more sweet than bitter, to be very, very honest with you, because the car was purchased under a whole different idea than just what I did. And I have a smaller footprint here now. I have a camper and a truck to pull it with. And if I want to bail from here, travel, leave permanently, whatever, cancel my insurance. That really went down. That was a great savings. Plus I'm getting a refund because I just paid my insurance. So I'm getting some money back, which will cover at least the cost of that ad that I paid, which was, I gave $200 for that ad because I sold my car. And I can't thank the guy enough for calling me, being the first one to be so assertive, to be so good at what he does of searching for cars from Dallas, Texas to Bradenton, Florida, and searched Auto Trader for a private party ad that hadn't been on there for but hours, and it was overnight. You can't count that. First thing this morning, call me up. 2 o'clock today. Cliff came from Tampa, met me, and there's no better experience than buying a car and selling it. Those are the 2 good days, like a boat, right? The day you get it and the day you sell it. And it really does feel really good to know I like my truck now since I started riding it with the lower tire pressure. I like knowing that, the car would be worth less next year, bouncing back and forth between 2 cars, paying insurance for more cars, maintenance, things like that. Something could happen. The window got cracked on it, You worry about everywhere you go, road scratches, door dings. You got all this money invested. I mean, I don't even miss it. I'm elated. And so now every time you see me, I'll be crushing it in the Super Crusher.